The glare of the flashbulbs, the velvet rope,
Mhm.
the world's cameras all focusing on one girl. For over a decade, we've watched the Heir to Music royalty Blue Ivy Carter grow up.
But not without this relentless, just suffocating scrutiny.
Exactly. And there was always this central, really uncomfortable question whispered behind every single public appearance.
Right. Was it, does she fit the brand?
The brand identity perfected by Beyoncé. And recently, that quiet question just exploded into one of the most shocking headlines we've seen in years.
The implication that Beyoncé was pressuring her own daughter to fundamentally change her appearance. Welcome to StarScope Report.
Join us as we uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals. From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today we are jumping into a deep, really complicated stack of sources.
These articles, these reports, they lay bare the cruelty of the celebrity industrial complex.
You've got the constant toxic comparisons, the alleged internal family tension.
And these, disturbing rumors of cosmetic surgery pressure aimed at a minor, all in the name of brand preservation.
So our mission today is to move past that sensational headline, Beyoncé, make Blue Ivy less like Jay-Z.
You need to unpack the truth behind those rumors and really trace Blue Ivy's dramatic public transition.
Yeah, she started as a child, just torn apart for her looks.
And has now emerged as a Grammy-winning, self-determined icon who is, undeniably and very strategically her mother's spitting image. It's a high-stakes billion-dollar story. So let's unpack how this whole narrative was built.
What's so fascinating here is how quickly the scrutiny began. Since birth.
Instantly.
The public focus on her appearance has been relentless. She was born into a world where her mother is this global standard of beauty.
An impossible standard.
Right. And social media immediately started measuring this newborn against it.
And the commentary wasn't just, comparative. It was straight up cruel.
Oh, it was laced with this specific cultural venom.
For sure. Even as a toddler, she faced criticism, especially about her hair. People were calling it uncombed.
To really understand the depth of this toxicity, you have to look at the language.
Mm-hmm.
She was being subjected to commentary that was explicitly steeped in cultural racism. We have that specific, shocking example from Saucy Santana in 2020.
The tweets.
The tweets. He used the deeply offensive and derogatory term nappy-headed or and claimed, quote, Northwest clears Blue Ivy.
It's just awful. And what's so disturbing is that when he was challenged on it years later, he reportedly just doubled down on those comments.
Right. It just shows the kind of public license people felt they had to attack a child over her natural appearance.
And the criticism was amplified because she was being judged almost exclusively through a Eurocentric lens, right?
Exactly. So any feature that didn't align with that standard, her natural hair, her facial resemblance of her father, it was immediately magnified and attacked.
It completely ignored her identity as a black child.
It did. And it was all projected onto her because she didn't instantly fit Beyoncé's carefully curated public image. The lighter skin, the straightened hair.
And speaking of curated images, it's so relevant that Beyoncé herself isn't immune to this. We just saw it with the Renaissance film era.
The skin-bleaching rumors, they went viral.
Yeah, and her mother, Tina Knowles, had to step in and publicly debunk it.
She explained that the lighter tone was just the effect of the silver fashion theme, the lighting.
The whole aesthetic. The family is constantly on defense about their natural presentation.
Which brings us to the shocking claim at the heart of this deep dive. The narrative we're analyzing today suggests the pressure wasn't just external.
It was internal.
Exactly.
Now, these claims started in what are known as blind items and anonymous gossip blogs, so unsubstantiated reports, right?
Yeah, they're often released to test public appetite and just create drama. But the sheer volume of them created this powerful, really toxic narrative crisis.
And that narrative alleged that Beyoncé and Tina Knowles, the matriarchs of the brand, were privately frustrated.
Frustrated that Blue Ivy didn't inherit more of her mother's, quote, face card.
And that she looked instead like her father, Jay-Z.
Who, let's be honest, has often faced scrutiny for his own looks throughout his career, especially standing next to Beyoncé.
So the sources claim this frustration led to this meticulous, almost obsessive management of her public image.
Right. There were rumors that her glam team was constantly working overtime to soften certain features, before any public appearance.
All to push her look closer to her mother's visual identity.
And this is where the gossip crossed a really, really disturbing line.
Yeah.
The rumors included alleged claims from an unnamed former surgeon, a highly dubious source, we have to note,
For sure.
suggesting that Beyoncé was actually forcing Blue Ivy to get plastic surgery.
To make her more beautiful.
It's horrifying. The whisper campaigns specifically focused on future refinements when she's of age.
Nose job rumors, right?
Nose job rumors, all framed as part of securing the billion-dollar brand legacy.
It paints this terrifying picture of a family being dismayed over her natural features, a calculated strategy.
It speaks volumes about the monetization of youth in Hollywood. The idea that a child's natural face is a flaw that needs to be fixed for the family empire.
Okay, let's unpack this. The internet was flooded with these rumors, but what happens when reality flips the script?
You won't believe how Blue Ivy's latest courtside appearance instantly shifted this entire narrative. Stay with us.
So we've established this intense, toxic fear around her public image, all fueled by years of unfair comparison and these horrible rumors.
But just when the industry expected her to maybe retreat, she didn't.
No, instead, Blue Ivy chose a single high-stakes moment to just surgically rewrite her entire narrative.
And that moment happened decisively on December 10th, 2025. It was a classic strategic visibility moment.
The NBA Cup quarterfinal Lakers versus Spurs at the Crypto.com arena. Blue Ivy, now 13, attending with Jay-Z.
And the visual strategy was just impeccable.
Jay-Z was in his signature subdued look all black, minimalist sweater, beanie. He was strategically relegated.
Media reports all described him as playing second fiddle, deliberately allowing Blue Ivy to command the visual spotlight. It was signaling this massive transition in her status.
From celebrity kid to independent icon.
Yeah. The entire ensemble was curated for maximum impact.
She wore an oversized Balenciaga moto leather jacket, these high-volume Attico cargo denim jeans.
And she carried a jewel-encrusted diesel handbag, leaning really heavily into that noughties revival aesthetic.
The baggy styles from the early 2000s, yeah. And crucially, her hair was worn long and straight.
A strategic choice, calibrated to maximize the resemblance to her mother.
Our sources highlight one specific detail, though. Her footwear. The burgundy Isabel Marant Baquette wedge sneakers. Why were these shoes such a big deal?
Because these weren't just similar.
What?
They were either highly similar to or the actual pair Beyoncé wore around 2011 and 2012.
Whoa.
Right around the time of Blue Ivy's birth.
So the message isn't just fashion.
Not at all. It's a statement of inherited power. It links her present success directly back to the decade she was born, solidifying her status as the intended heir.
It's the ultimate hand-me-down, isn't it? Most of us get a used sweater.
And Blue Ivy gets a vintage, iconic, celebrity-worn luxury item that instantly certifies her brand authority.
It was literal evidence of generational hand-me-down luxury.
And the viral reaction proves the strategy worked. The consensus was unanimous.
Spitting image, uncanny resemblance, identical to her mom.
The jokes went viral. Beyoncé really copy-pasted herself because Blue Ivy stole her whole face.
And just like that, the toxic narrative of the past decade was instantly erased.
Replaced by the crystallization of the twin image.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it just shows massive personal growth. I mean, think back to that 2020 courtside moment.
Oh yeah, when she was 8 years old and completely starstruck.
Too nervous to ask LeBron James for an autograph, her dad had to coach her through it.
And now, this December 2025 appearance shows a young woman just commanding that stage with confidence, effortlessly holding court next to her father.
It's a visible signal that she is professionally ready.
And as Jay-Z said about her past experiences, she is reclaiming her power from that early scrutiny. This resemblance isn't just luck, it's strategy.
Strategy backed by some undeniable earned talent.
And that's not even the wildest part. Next, we look at the facts that prove Blue Ivy is running her own empire, and she has the final say on her image.
Her professional legacy alone just separates her from the celebrity kid label.
We are talking about a major professional artist.
She became the second youngest Grammy winner ever at age 9.
9 years old. In 2021 for Brown Skin Girl. And this isn't just patronage, it's an earned accolade based on her vocal contributions, not just her name.
She also has multiple NAACP and BET awards.
And then there's the professional performance schedule. This is what's really incredible.
She wasn't just wheeled out for a quick photo op.
No, she was a staple dancer. performing complex, demanding choreography across both of her mother's massive recent tours.
The Renaissance World Tour in 2023 and the Cowboy Carter Tour in 2025.
Performing solo dance breaks on stage in front of 80,000 people a night.
Her appearances are integral, demanding, and totally professional.
What's fascinating here is the measurable Blue Ivy effect on the consumer market.
Right. When she performed at the NFL Christmas halftime show in 2024, she wore these surprisingly affordable Akira boots.
And the spike in demand showed she can move inventory across different price points. She's a genuine trend driver with her own economic power.
Okay, but let's introduce some critical friction here. If she's making the final choice on her outfits, like the sources claim, aren't those choices still limited to a selection curated by a family that controls a billion-dollar brand? How much true agency can she have?
That's an essential point about strategic messaging. We have direct quotes from Beyoncé's stylist, Shiona Turini.
What did she say?
She confirmed that Blue Ivy is heavily involved in the styling process and, quote, makes the final choice on her stage outfits.
So whether the selection is curated or not.
That decision-making power transfers the ownership of the final look entirely to Blue Ivy. The family can truthfully say she chose this image.
And that distinction, that the final choice is hers, is the critical evidence against the rumors that she's being forced into an image she doesn't want.
She is actively curating her own presentation.
And this goes beyond just fashion and dance.
It does. If the family were solely focused on pushing her into the music business, the things they say publicly push back on that.
Jay-Z insists he doesn't want to push his kids into the business. He asks, what if my child doesn't want to be in music or sports?
He sees her as an artist with great taste, but he recognizes her autonomy.
And Tina Knowles, while confirming her granddaughter's soaring confidence, she's 5'9" and strutting.
She's also said publicly she doesn't know if music is her ultimate passion. She mentions that Blue Ivy also writes poetry and paints.
Which suggests they're fostering her diverse talents, not just forcing her down one path.
Ultimately, the core discussion concludes with this. Blue Ivy's public narrative is one of carefully executed, strategic visibility.
She successfully used rare, curated appearances, like that Lakers game, to pivot the whole conversation.
From toxic scrutiny about her looking like Jay-Z,
to celebrating her image and confidence as the powerful, undeniable heir to Beyoncé's throne.
We started with the intense rumor that Beyoncé wanted Blue Ivy to be less like Jay-Z.
Rooted in years of unfair comparisons and just damaging anonymous gossip.
But the latest evidence, the courtside look, the shoes, the Grammys, the confirmation of her own styling agency, it all proves that Blue Ivy has used her platform to craft her own persona.
A persona that's both a tribute to her family legacy and a blueprint for her own future.
The Carter family famously trademarked Blue Ivy's name right after she was born,
viewing her as a brand with global equity from day one.
So given the meticulous yet autonomous control over her image and her career, the question for you is, now that the twin narrative is so powerfully established,
what is the ultimate billion-dollar brand Blue Ivy Carter is building? And who is the audience she's targeting next? She's defining her own cultural space.
We'll be watching closely to see if that space is the throne.
If you've been fascinated by these Hollywood twists and strategic moves, make sure you subscribed. We've got even crazier stories ahead, connecting the dots behind the biggest stars.
You've been listening to StarScope Report.
Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.